Welcome, one and all, to Belgium and the fantastic Circuit Zolder. As the track goes quiet for a couple of moments as we are nearing the end of practice. Good morning, good afternoon and good evening everyone, wherever you are in the world. My name is Sky and you are watching the International Sim Drivers Association Spring GT3 Championship in the Assetto Corsa Competizione from Zolder. And what an exciting competition we have in store for tonight. Potentially, there is whispers of a wet race. Once again, we saw how that played with the setup of things last time out. And as we come to this fifth round of the championship, things are looking a little bit dominant at the moment for the Pirate Racing team and Romano Berenic in the Pirate Racing Porsche there. 100 points over double to Zach, who had a torrid time last time out at Alton Park. Really couldn't get that McLaren hooked up, and if there's a wet race, he is not going to be looking forward to this hour of racing either. Down in the second half of the AM Championship, we can see quite a few drivers missing out on the points for finishing and even starting. Unfortunately, the AM Championship 2, Barnabas Konkoly in the Mercedes 51 car is running away from the 22 Bentley of Herbert Pindrick as well. But the AM battle and the Pro battle too, the fight now becomes who can claim that best of the runner-up in category. The Teams Championships too are similarly poised. If you need any more information, have a look down on the ISDA racing website, and you'll be able to see all of the timing and scoring there. Let's jump to our trackside cameras and get our timing up as they all circulate round for qualifying. The number 3 of Igor Krisnik is our defined car that the game has decided that we should be looking at to start with, and a very good looking livery on a number 3 Porsche, I must say. I do love how ACC has decided that it wants to capture my cursor and keep it there. Almost as if I don't need it for other things. If you are in the chat, go and give us a shout out. Tell us who you are going to be supporting in the race tonight. I see Tom Minton already making his presence known. No surprises as to which car that man will be supporting. Speaking of, where is Mr. Minton in the order of things in this early stage? I see that 89. Minton, 75, is out on a lap already, coming down to finish his first timed lap. We weren't expecting too much in the way of opening bouts. That's a lot of twitchiness from the 75. Either that or that's just netcode. Either way, we'll take it. Across the line, Minton pulls a 1 minute 28.7. Being overturned already. We aren't too concerned about these opening bouts. We do have a yellow flag out for the 33 car of Matty Silva. Okay, it's a yellow flag for a car that's in the pits. Spot on, ACC. Very good. Congratulations. What else is there going on? Borovec in the 24 is working wonders with that Porsche once again, getting right up in the high end of the top 5. This is the kind of pace that Berenic needs if he's going to secure the victory, the overall victory for this championship. They can't rest on their laurels, remember, because it only takes a real life drama or issues with hardware, and this championship could be blown wide open. Not that I'm wishing technical difficulties on any of our drivers. Believe me, having suffered from technical difficulties, it is very frustrating. But as Borovec comes down to the final chicane, he is not going faster at the moment, but will get another opportunity next time round. Berenic, meanwhile. Berenic? I was told that any of those names with a C on the end is a hard C as opposed to a soft C. So Berenic it is. As that is a 75, I think, on the inside. Nope, there's another Aston Martin. Berenic will have been held up slightly on this lap by the number 3 Porsche in front, who he dwarfs behind. Half a second up goes Berenic. There we go. That'll take him to 4th, but he will be wanting to clear himself out the traffic. The 25 car will go no further, it seems. Number 3's parked it on the outside, probably looking for some space as well. Koei Kawasaki is 18 seconds faster. I do like it when we get ridiculous numbers like that come up. 18 seconds faster than his last time, which was 148.111. Comes across the line and we'll push it to 16th. That's a lot better for the 806 Porsche. Beautiful pink livery with the Nightwing-esque banner across the front of the car. 13 minutes left to go. Borovec is going faster again, comes across the line, is going to go to 2nd. Very much getting his eye in with that 24 Porsche, it seems. Otto Winkler as well will come across the line and go to 8th, going half a second faster. Langendijk in the 66 is half a second up on his previous time as well in that sky liveried, let's say, Aston Martin. So a lot of time being made up in the first sector for Langendijk here. I've just seen who's gone to the top of the timesheets, and I do believe. Oh no, it's fine. Rochepal's already been balanced into the AM class, but it's going faster in that 111 car. This championship isn't over yet. There's still lots and lots of time for it to all go very Pete Tong. Aston Martin will come across the line. It's 4 tenths up as he comes across the line, pushes himself to 9th and into the top 10. As the 111 car comes down into the first chicane. One day I'm going to get a zero, an anti-shock mount for my microphone, so you can't tell when I'm typing. One day. Don't place your bets on it being anytime soon, though. There we go. Yeah, I can't do any of those names. Can I do any of these names? All of these corner names at Zolder are not terrible. That's wrong. They're just unpronounceable by an Englishman. Who else is going faster? It looks like the times have leveled off to an extent. I will use this map here. Because it has turn numbers instead of turn names. And that is going to be way more useful. Than any of the names. If you want to know the corner names, feel free to go and have a look on any of the websites that have it listed, because I'm not going to pronounce any of them. I'm not even going to attempt. There we go. Thing is, I know the track. I've driven it many times. It's actually one of the first tracks that you drive in Assetto Corsa Competizione when you do the Lamborghini test run thing that they have. Is Rochepal going for another lap? It looks like he is, so we'll jump on board with him on the correct side of the car for a passenger through turn 1. The pit entry is on the right hand side. You can see, I think that's a Porsche. The Porsche's going to be getting right in the way, as is that Lamborghini. I'll tell you what though, who is that Porsche? It's the number 8 car. Berenic taking it to second, but still 7/10 off of the Bentley, the 111 car in first position. What a lap by Rochepal. And while he has backed off a lot now, there is obviously pace in that 111 Bentley. A couple of drivers are going quicker, but by no means fast enough to make it to the head of the field. Berenic getting blue flags because he's on an outlap. But this is not what Berenic wants. He's got 10 minutes to make this happen, so he's probably got enough fuel on for a good few laps to take it down to for the rest of the session. I wonder if the 111 car's going to slam into the pits. Yes, he is. So, thank you very much to Rochepal for clearing the way, as the number 8 Porsche comes accelerating across the start-finish line. Let's do a very, very hot and spicy lap of Circuit Zolder down into turn 1. Nominally 3rd gear, but sometimes 2nd, depending on which car you've got. Turn 2 is a long, drawn-out right-hander that drags you all the way through 3 on 1 continuous double apex corner. Pound up through the gears, go as wide as you dare, sometimes clipping on the grass and on the brakes for 4. Keep the car stable because the gravel trap on the outside is waiting to steer your car towards the barrier on the outside. Now the first of the chicanes on this track, fairly easy. Don't cut the first one, but you can cut the second to take the lap as fast as possible. Mindful of track limits, obviously, but there is a lot of runoff. The second of the chicanes now through 6 and 7, I think. Again, being very careful on the first apex, but a lot smoother on the left, and then a double apex right-hander through 7 to get you round to this hairpin at 8 o'clock at turn 8. One of the passing opportunities that we will see throughout the course of this race, and then down into turn 10 with the left-right of the final chicane. On the throttle as early as you dare, and hold the car left if you're on a fast lap to get the shortest drag to the line. Berenic will come to the line and go no faster for the time being. Perhaps not getting the drive off of the final corner. We'll run right out onto the AstroTurf on the outside. That is supreme confidence from the Pirate Racing driver to have the confidence to go out there. There's not a lot of grip out on the AstroTurf, and even less when you're on the limit, as these drivers are in this qualifying session. Neither Zach in the 89 is just in front of the 2nd place car at the moment as well. Good to see too Borovec in the 24 car seemingly able to back up the pace of the 8 Porsche. There you go, big old cut across the inside for Romano there. And a lot of grass being kicked up. There's a lot of drivers pushing very, very hard here. That is the Lexus in front, who is that going to be? Burek is running 3/10 faster. Tadic is going quicker as well. That's going to be 2 abandoned laps for Zach in the 89. Where is the 84 Porsche? Loses it on the exit. That's what I mean. You have to be so careful on that turn 4. So this is 5 and 6. Then this long curve round is 7. Yeah, this track map's terrible as well. Oh, good evening. Wow, that was... apparently YouTube chat did not want to work there for a good few minutes. Evening Steve, even Ivan. How are we there? And what else do we have? Alex Reef in the 36 is going significantly faster, but again losing time on this straight down to the first of the chicanes. Gets on the brakes and is very safe with how far he's running across that chicane. A sister Aston Martin abandons to the inside. It's such... I can't put into words how awful. There we go, as the 36 runs afoul big time of the yellow flag all the time is because, there you go, 36 gets right out of the way. That's some really heads-up driving from Reef there. Let me just see. So, floating camera is one of the things that I've recently discovered that we can do. Let me just get the track map up. The yellow flag's being caused by, I think, the 33 car still. So, assumedly, that's the start-finish line. Where's that 33 car? I think the yellow flag is being caused by the 33, but I can't work out why. Mattia Silva is in the pits with... what's he got? So he's got no wheels on the car. There's no wheels on that 33 car, but he's obviously come out for a lap. 3's off on the outside of the last corner. Now, what on earth is going on with this Aston Martin for it to be, one, causing a yellow flag? I've never seen this before. You can see it's definitely the 33 that's causing it, and there is definitely no wheels on that wagon. But that's something. This is a brand spanking new server bug. Yeah, I can't think of what else to say. Nonetheless, thankfully, we don't penalise the drivers for going faster under a yellow flag, because that would be silly. Back with the number 8 car, championship leader and very much champion-elect, as is the Pirate Racing team for Berenic here. Currently sat behind his teammate though, so Borovec, I did see the names flip over earlier. It was only a couple of minutes ago that Borovec actually managed to overhaul Berenic and is going faster again. I don't think they still aren't within base of Rochepal in that 111 car, who is still circulating, it looks like. Everybody's out on track now, and 1 minute and 30 left to go in this qualifying session. These are the laps that count. The 8 has traffic in front. That's not ideal for the championship leader. I think that's a 17 Aston Martin comes down into turn 1 in front of the 8. So confident in the balance of that car. Runs right out onto the rumble strips on the outside on the AstroTurf. Bless a dry qualifying session. This is going to make the race even more exciting if it does end up raining. I wonder if the 17 is on a hot one. Numbers. I think it's 17. So Kujawa is running 7th. Yep. And isn't going faster than him faster at the moment. Yep, so we'll abandon off to the outside. Brilliant driving by Kujawa there to get himself out of the way of the race leader when he wasn't going any faster. 2/10 up is Berenic already. 12 seconds remaining. This is going to be the final lap, and it was traffic affected. Didn't get the drive off of the hairpin. There is only 2 more corners that separates the 8 car from a potential 2nd place. No one... Oh, no, he's gone into the pits. There we go. Borovec, meanwhile, has gone 3/10 faster in the first sector alone than his previous time. What a time to bring out the big guns. 4/10 now. He is within reach now of getting towards that 111 car. Oh, 101 on the inside. That's awful. Wait, someone got very distracted. 24 goes around the hairpin very safely. Loses all of that time that he gained. It's not going to be quick enough for first unless he can bring out an incredible final lap. It was good on entrance. He will go faster, but no one can touch Roshipal in that 111. Yep. No one has been able to touch that Bentley all session. Minton in the pits. Langadike doesn't cross the line, doesn't even get as far as that. Krisnik out on track as well. Looks like he might be the last. He is going quicker. But loses it all on exit. Doesn't lose it on exit. There is... Ah, he's going to run out of time. Ah, that's unfortunate. The 3 was going faster. He could have gained a couple of places on that lap. Let me get that there. Okay. So, one of the things that I really do appreciate with ISDA is they've given me 5 minutes to run down the driver listings in a nice, coherent fashion. And it's one of the great things about ISDA is having all of this time. So, let's get the timetable up. There we go. So, that's not really the one we want, is it? We want that one. As has become a tradition now, we will run down the starting field. The 111 Bentley, peerless in that qualifying session, snatches the pole from the 24 Porsche of Fillip Borovec, leading his teammate, the championship leader, in 3rd place. Not able to touch either of those lead cars for the first time in what feels like the entire championship. The 22 car of Hervo Pindrik will start in 4th, and Barnabas Konkoly will be the 2nd place AM car. But leading the championship, he's got a very good chance of coming away with the championship. Naida Zak will be the 4th place pro car, and Kujawa will be the next row of the grid. The first of the Jaguars in the form of Dakusa, with Minton starting in 9th position. Langadike will start the 66 car, that beautifully turned out Sky Williams-esque liveried Aston Martin, in 10th, and Igor Krisnik will start the number 3 Porsche with that beautiful bronze livery in 11th. The 806 of Kawai Kawasaki will start in 12th. 13th will be Andrei Kushar in that 78 Lexus. Dijan Jokic in the 74 Mercedes will be starting 14th. There is a gap on the field where the 33 car should sit. I wonder what has caused that absence. Also, Winkler will start 16th position in that Godzilla GTR, and Igor Van Koyle, who impressed last time out in the 92 Aston Martin, will start 17th. Stephen Carey in the number 1 Porsche will start 18th. 19th will be Zvonimir Burek in the 10 car. 25 will be George Hemming in 20th position, and give me 2 seconds. Don't worry guys, I can sort all that out in a minute. 25 cars there. Andrew Brooker in that bright yellow 130 will start in 21st. 22nd will be Asuru Maru in the 404 car. The 101 of Dan Babic in that, sorry Dan, in that Breaking Bad Porsche. And we'll just get a quick look at that livery because we do have the time. How awesome is that green and white livery? Excellent, excellent details. Obviously the nods where they are appropriate, but really nicely turned out Porsche there. The 84 and sister to the 3 of Sanel Tadek will start in 24th. The 728 of Claudio Voodoo in 25th. 26th will be Dan Smith in that number 13 McLaren. The 23 of Mike Wazinski will start 27th. The 777 of Prismet Kirchner in 28th. 29th will be Alex Reef. 30th will be... I did scroll down. There we go. Will be Kukulov Eugene in that 515 Audi. The 331 of Art Harwak will start, or Harvak. Again, you'll have to help. In 31st, Stephen Beswick will start the 833 in 32nd. The 4 of David Dunster will start in 33rd. 34th will be Theo Smolik in the 76th, and Lord Nem bringing up the rear in a beautifully turned out Aston Martin, the 666 car. I believe that may actually be a car change for Lord Nem. I'm sure he's been in a Ferrari. Just all of the luck being piled on, or all of the bad luck being piled on one car. That is your grid of GT3 cars for round 5 of the International Sim Drivers Association Spring Championship of 2021. They begin their formation lap now and try to get some heat in the tyres. The track temperature is 21 degrees, so not exactly ideal for these I think they're Pirellis on these tyres. And the air temp of 16 degrees will be giving the turbo cars perhaps a little bit more as the Astons push each other off the line. 111 is leading a very slow formation lap. Rochipal knows what he's doing though. He's been here before in previous races, I'm well aware of that. And I guarantee he's got... Yep. He's doing my he started listening to the commentator, that's his problem. He's riding the brake on the straights, getting heat into the brakes before the tyres. Because if you've got heat in the brakes, the heat from the rotors spreads out to the tyres, so you don't have to do quite as much work getting the tyres toasty for that start line as well. When you've got hot brakes, you're going to be able to stop when it comes to turn 1. Rochipal is going for an aggressive strategy here. He is going to be keeping the lead from those Pirate Racing Porsches behind. And how very, very intimidating that must be for the Bentley driver. Let's very quickly have a look at the standings once again. You can see the state of the championship with Romano Berenic leading the championship by so much. Rochipal in that 111 car is third, has a very, very good chance of taking the lead of from taking second place from Nida Zak in that McLaren 89, which is struggling in the lower tiers. And as you can see on the driver's side on the left, the driver tower on the left-hand side, Pindrick in that 22 car out qualifying Barnabas Konkoly. Could this be the start of a comeback for the 22 Bentley to potentially steal away that 51 cars lead of the championship? Just covering the very early parts for you as the drivers all begin to form up and slam their brakes on. You don't need to see that because it's just going to be terrible. Around the final corner they come then. I will commit myself to using the helicopter camera because there's no way that I'm going to be able to cover it. Otherwise, we wait for the lights to go green, and they do. The Porsches get a fantastic launch. Borovec and Berenic don't know where to go. The 111 has the inside line going down into turn 1. There's a bit of a moment behind. I don't think that was anything too bad, though. All of the drivers get through cleanly. That's an Aston Martin in black of Beswick in the 833, just struggling to get around. That is, which Aston Martin is that has just fallen away from the back of the field? That is Kujawa in the 17 car. My goodness, what has happened to him? We'll have a look at that once the first few laps are completed. Good grief. Come on, give us... Whoa, okay, that's a bigger incident. Through turn 4. That's a much bigger incident through turn 4. And things getting very, very messy through this first lap. Top of the timing screens is Rochepal leading the way in that 111 Bentley and pulling a gap already. Good grief. Borovec too is holding the gap to his teammate at the moment. There's still a yellow flag out, the 33. Grief. That's going to be a consistent thing, isn't it, throughout the race? We're just going to have a full race of yellow. Yeah, is there a Super Pro category that we can put Rochepal and Berenic into? As the first lap comes to its end, the drivers all seem... I tell you what, Nida Zak has had an extremely good start. Actually, we've not got any rain. The preview was... the forecast was for rain, so I'm sure all of these drivers have got a somewhat compromised setup. Unless I missed something in the briefing. Either way, that McLaren is looking feisty in these dry conditions. We'll put eyes on Berenic here. Weirdly, the meat in a sandwich, although a Porsche and McLaren do not a good sandwich make. On the upside, the 8 car does have the 24 to pull out of the way if it's needed. Pressure being applied by Berenic. I'm sure there is... I'm sure... Sorry, I saw that 89 coming up behind and I didn't want to jinx anything at all. It looks as though the 8's hungry for that second position. Wants to go after the 111 car. Don't know if he necessarily has the pace, but we'll certainly find out in a second. Let me just... As the McLaren goes offline, I think that was a mistake. I had my eyes on timing screens rather than... I think that was Zak running a little bit too wide, dropping himself back into the clutches of De Couza in that Jaguar, which is looking very, very ragged. That number 80 car is looking like it wants the position and has more of a car underneath him than perhaps the McLaren has at this early stage of the race. The 8 cars just getting in the mirrors of the 24 in front as well. There is action all over this field. And there's more fights even further down. I need to get onto this enormous train. I don't even know where to start with this at the moment. Dan Minton, it looks like, has escaped. Yes, it's Koei Kawasaki who is the leader of this race's trolley train. Yoto 6 perhaps running a... Actually, no, it's Stephen Carey. Stephen Carey in that one car is the Yano trolley of this race. There we go. Let him pass. It's still not happening. Calls from chat to... What happened to Silver? Well, right. Oh, he's in the pits. So that he's obviously taken some damage. I need to take a break from the action to be able to look at the start again, because there was action at turn 3 and turn 2 and turn 3. Everybody go around the first corner just fine. Is the 8 car going to make it happen this time? I don't know, he's taking a wider line. I think that may be a pullover and a breathe on the throttle as they come side by side. No! The 24's not defending here. This is pure pace for Borovec. And now the move happens. Does it? As the 24 goes side by side, yeah, lets off. And now we see the pace of the 8 car very, very quickly. Let's jump to replay. And we wait for the game to decide. Come on. Oh, no, I totally agree. It makes sense. Let me see what happened to Mattia Silva. No, so Silva in the 33 car was always in the pits. Kirchner... I need to get to turn 1 as quickly as possible. Here we go. So, here is where you can hear the revs rise. Now, through turn 1, there's a car off in the gravel here. But what's the contact? Oh, Minton with an enormous punt of the 17. And that's what caused the issues there. But in a similar incident over here will come down. Who is it that... Oh, wow. They get tangled up before the corners even started. Wow. Give me a second. And I'll get a look at that again. It was, going 3 wide on the entrance. And it looks like 3 cars into 1 doesn't go. And it's also Winkler in the 35 that has suffered quite a bit there. Let's see what happened there. So that was, it wasn't even 3 cars into 1, it was 2 cars into 1. The 84 gets side banged by the 130 in sympathy, and that was about as terrifying. Let's slow down that. As the 92 on the outside gets a wicked drive around the outside of the 74. 74 car isn't paying enough attention, and that is the accident in all its glory. Very, very bad luck for the 35 car to be stuck in that position. Berenic now in the clear air is not able to drop Borovec, but I'm sure the dirty air is helping the 24 along these long straights to keep up. And the hunt for the victory begins here for the number 8 car. Now, so Mattia is in chat. No one could see Mattia racing. So netcode issues of some description for Mattia Silva. Thank you very much for that information. Mattia, if you are in this lobby and you want to come in the comp box with me, you're more than welcome to. Another set of eyes is always useful. And I would never turn down an authoritative voice on this brilliant, brilliant league racing. The Herbuth Motorsport liveried 404 car of Suramaru in the AM League, in the AM class. Currently in the thick of it, behind the number 1. But it looks as though those Porsches are reasonably safe together behind the Lexus. Trying to go up the inside of the 74. The 74 already having been in the wars today with the 70, whichever number it was, now on the defensive, carrying damage. 25 is going to try and go for the cut back underneath, but there's no space where he goes for it. gets up in the mirrors on the brakes, side by side. They go into turn 4, and that is the pass done as simply as that. And now Hemming goes to the inside of the Mercedes, having had to take a wide line on the brakes into the first chicane, beautifully positioned for the 728 McLaren. Neither Zach, meanwhile, hasn't been able to escape. And through the last split, Konkoly was actually in front of that 89. So the Jaguar looking feisty as well. Lots and lots of time and space for things to go very, very wrong. And who's that? So Kirkner has pitted. Konkoly has separated himself from the 22 Bentley, which unfortunately is very difficult to... Oh, McLaren going defensive already. Jaguar goes to the outside. I don't think there was much of an overlap, but the 89 is going to be slow out of turn 1. Is there anything that the Jaguar can do here? He gets almost his nose cut off. Fighting in millimetres here. Apologies there. I had a bit of a... something in my nose for some reason. Whew. Three-way battle in the background as well. Jaguar was looking very racy on the McLaren. It looks like, I tell you what, if you're supporting Rochepal, he's pretty much got this nailed at the moment, as are these two cars nailed together into the second chicane. That McLaren is not looking as settled as it has through the early part of the field. Let's very quickly jump on board with the Jaguar. Falls back in the straights, but then you get to the apex and in the acceleration section, seems to be all over the 89 here. (22 versus 66) is also a fantastic battle. You are absolutely spot on. Thank you very much. Let me get to there. Yes, the battle just behind what we were looking at. The 3-car battle over 7th place with Krisnik, Langadijk and the 2nd place AM car of Pindrik, who I'm sure is acutely aware that Konkoly is miles up the road by comparison. Not close enough to make any attempts yet. But Takuza's looking mighty feisty on the back of that 89. It's all, again, once again, the second half of the top 10 of these races delivering the best racing. Koei Kawasaki too has got some space or some fighting to be doing. That is Burek that he's just made his way past. Pindrik was behind Konkoly. No, they were behind Konkoly at the start. But Konkoly seems to have... Well, he's got pace on... Oh, goodness knows. Konkoly's got pace on Nida Zach in the 89 McLaren, who was so strong in the early stages of this championship. Kajawa, meanwhile, on the defensive from the 13 of Andy Brooker. Not fighting the same class, but there is a bit of pride going around in this 20th position. Side by side in front, that is a battle for position. Come on. There you go, that is a battle for position. 25 on the defensive for the 728 after, as they have been for the past few laps. Oh, it's almost contact. So close. Jokic in the 74. Oh, no, press the right button. There we go. In front of this battle is going to drop out with a drive-through for... Unfortunately, I've got to do this to get the... Nope. That was not how to do it. There we go. A big attack from the 728 has cost him for at least a couple of corners. Langendijk on the defensive from the 22 car still. With the Porsche in front, we're already... Oh no, we're not even talking lapping traffic. Neither Zach has got the 80 on his tail. Goes defensive, a quick jing to the left. That was so tight. Both of the drivers moved across at exactly the same time, with the 80 having to switch back to the racing line to try and get the braking done on the outside. It's never going to happen through that chicane, but he hasn't lost quite as much. Big dive to the inside from the 89. 80 looks to the outside, will have more speed and potentially the inside line, but is now under pressure from the 3 car. Krisnick's getting in on this battle, will go around the outside of the Jaguar, and does the Porsche have the traction of the rear axle to take the position around the outside? Side by side, so close. There, the 80 just manages to defend, and that gives neither Zach just the slightest break for a couple of minutes until he needs to defend again. And now this is a 4-car battle for 6th place. I am going to need lozenges by the end of this race. There's a reason why I could do with a second... There's a reason I could do with a second commentator here, Ivan, because I can't... Obviously, I can't run 2 instances of ACC and watch and commentate and do replays and stuff at the same time. It would be lovely if I could. The 66. Yes, 4 cars chasing 5th. I know, and the 22 is looking to go around the outside of the 66 car now for 8th position. It's not going to happen. 66 car runs down the middle of the road. It seems as though there is cars that have the slightest bit of performance over the cars in front of them, but by the time they get to a position to overtake, they're in that last corner and can't do anything about it. Don't worry, this won't take long to resolve. The Jaguar still on defensive from the number 3 car. Meanwhile, the 89 has gone, thank you very much, I need to go and chase after that 51 AM car to put some metal between the cars here, fighting over 6th position now. And don't think that that 806 Porsche of Kawai Kawasaki isn't in this fight. If these guys keep on going side by side through all the chicanes, they're going to be up with this fight within minutes. 80 Jaguar with damage on the left-hand side of the car. I wonder if that's going to be fixed during the pit stop or if Dakusa will just ride with it. I've had it on a couple of occasions where having nose damage has actually improved the handling of the car because I got the aero balance slightly wrong. So there's a possibility that that 80 car is handling better than when the race started. It's unlikely, but it's possible. Like the videos if you're enjoying what you're seeing here, ladies and gents. Absolutely astonishing competitive racing from the lower half of the top 10 here. Actually, where is your boy Minton? Where is Dan at the moment? Dan is down in 26th, so has Dan had an issue with an accident or something? I'll rely on the family to give me that information. Perks of having a live chat. These guys all seem to have settled down a little bit. That said, nope, that was not what I wanted to look at. Babic and Otto Winkler come through turn 1. This is what happens when the 33 car is throwing constant yellow. Dan Babic is in 23rd in the 101 at the moment. Oh, with a drive-through, was that what it was? Ah, that's unfortunate. Right. So a problem for Dan Minton has dropped him down to 25th at the moment, 24th. So he's just made his way past Otto Winkler in Sector 1. Happened in the background of your pictures. So great to see, but Otto's coming back, even with damage. He's trying to get that position back. We know that 75 car, Minton had a drive-through, which is what dropped him down so far down the grid. But now, okay. Here's a thought. I shall put this to those of you in chat. We know that both Babic and Minton have more pace than they have at the moment. We also know where the relative strengths of the cars are. The Porsche in the corners and the Aston in the straights. Riddle me this, but would it not make sense if for Babic to not defend that 23rd position and see if he can hang on to the coattails of the 75 car and get both of them up towards the head of the field? Having a rear gut... So these alliances happen in races and in racing. I can well imagine that is the kind of tactics that they're thinking at the moment in a race as close as this. Where's this? Oh my goodness. So D'Couza is seesawing between attacking Nida Zak in the 89 and having to go defensive to the number 3, which is looking very, very poised. I say that only because it's the kind of thing that I think of when I see a car that's faster than me behind me. One of the first things that I do, or if I can see that they are a couple of tenths faster, I try and make it easy for them to pass, and then try and make up places, especially when they're a different class or a different category. For example here, if Pindrick is struggling with his pace, which I don't think he is. He's actually looking to get past the 66. But then again, he could be sitting back and waiting because the Aston Martin's punching a hole through the air. You can see on the driver timings on the left-hand side. The Aston Martin will be punching a hole in the air with that giant wing on the back of the car. So, and the Bentley is very good on fuel. We already know that. So there's every possibility that he could be sitting back, saving his fuel, saving his tyres, sat behind a different class car. And then if the 66 pit early in the pit stop window, which we are 7 minutes away from, then that gives Pindrick a 10-minute window to be able to pound out laps on tyres which may well be better than those in front of them by that point. Even in these sprint races, there's a lot of thinking to go on and a lot of calculations and partnerships going on. 15-second penalty for Nida Zak. I wonder if I can find out what that's for. Give me a second. Race control, here we go. Car 75 has received a drive-through for an instant between himself and car 17. Oh, that was turn 2, of course, yes. 60. Oh yeah, that's what I mean. This is a sprint race format, but there is a pit stop in the middle, so you can still gain a couple of places. Some of Dan Minton's best work has been done by not pitting early in the pit stop window and making up places just by going significantly faster. Car 74 has received a drive-through for whatever reason. Car 99... the incident between cars 101 and 515 has been reviewed, and car 515 has received a stop-and-go penalty of 10 seconds. And the 833 and the 36 has been reviewed, and car 36 has received a drive-through, is what we have so far. Now, the other thing, of course, is there is currently a 15-second penalty for Nida Zak, which is going to drop him well out of the battle for... There we go. No pit wall.
Oh, look who we have here.
Oh my goodness. Hello, Mally.
Hello.
We've
Welcome.
been dragged to race control. What honor is this?
Oh well, that's probably Youngest doing this.
Ah, okay.
We're right now in the middle of investigation of another incident, but hey, it looks clean so far.
Yeah,
I mean, so far so good.
Other than a couple of incidents in the first couple of corners, which is kind of understandable. It as once again, and I will give my recommendation or my commendation to all of you now, both the drivers and you guys up here in race control. Jolly well done for being able to have so many cars racing so closely and keeping it clean.
Yeah, well, it's Zolder. We thought everyone would lose their minds, but everyone is doing their best right now. And
Zach has just well outbrakes himself coming into the pits and just hit the wall.
Did I jinx it?
Yeah. It's okay. Out of interest, is that 15-second penalty that he has imposed by yourselves, or was that the game that has given him it?
Are you asking the penalty for car number 89?
That's
for
the
Zach?
one. Yep.
Yes, precisely. No, he received a 15 seconds penalty for causing a damage to the Kuza for car number 80. He lost 2 positions, so that's why this decision for a penalty of 15 seconds.
Right, and that I assume will be served at the pit stop. And he'll just drop away from the 80 car, which I'm sure the leading AM car. Sorry, it's not the leading AM car, is it? It's the 80 of the Kuza.
Kuza is pro. We think of him very fond.
Yes.
You know, so.
Yes. No. He's been driving absolutely brilliantly in that Jaguar tonight. I tell you who else has been impressing as well is Lukasz in the lead of the race. That Bentley is not that fast, but he's making it happen.
Well, to think of him as an ex-AM driver, I mean, we would have a madness of a race once again, but luckily we promoted him after Monza.
Yes.
So it looks like Bentley is one of the best cars here. And, well, as I battled a lot of Porsches in my previous racing experiences with ACC, I think it's good to have someone else on the top step of the podium.
Yeah. The Porsches really are the complete package on every single track. They're not always the best, but they're the best all round. Also, does anyone else want to chime in and have their words on the stream?
Well, come on, guys, don't be shy. I mean, yes, stewards are anonymous, but let's don't be shy.
No, you're not anonymous. You're very well known for doing a good job, especially here.
Mr. Anonymous.
Mr. Anonymous. How are you guys finding the racing then today?
Quite clean, actually.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Any highlights of the race so far?
Some really awesome overtakes going into turn 7. That is all I'm going to say.
Turn 7. Which turn 7 are you referring to? The chicane?
Complex.
Yes.
The complex. The whole complex. Let's
always
just say I have a complex for that complex.
Yes. Now that complex is the bane of my existence because it's such an awful series of camber switches and general like camber chain. So you've got the camber on each of the left and the right corners. You've got the right, left, right. And then it's kind of still going downhill and flattens out. So the left-hander of the hairpin, of the chicane, is awful.
If you get it wrong, you get it royally wrong.
Oh, you do. Here, because as the number 80 is coming into the chicane now, we'll see it on the stream. So you come down off of a downhill braking zone, into the first corner, which has what can only be described as a ditch, and then into the left-hander, which has a ditch and some sausage curbs that you can ride across without incurring a penalty, if I'm right in thinking. And then you've got to get the power down for the sweeping right-hander afterwards. It's terrifying.
That's what makes it so good.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that you can extend it by quite a bit.
You can.
let's not forget about the Bentley drivers who are sitting on the right side of the car there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing to think that someone can actually drive it really fast on that set of corners, but I hope that it's BOP'd accordingly.
Well, yeah, I'm sure it will be. I'm sure they take into account that they're driving on the wrong side of the car. I mean, the correct side of the car.
No, the wrong side.
Of course, of course. Thank you for dragging me up here. It's always great to get you guys' voices on stream. We know how much work you do behind the scenes, and on behalf of everyone who's currently out on track and all the guys in the stream, thank you very much for all the work that you're doing. It really is helping to make this series a clean one and a competitive one.
Well, thank you for stopping by, or thank you to... Well, I suppose Arthur dragged you in, so thanks to him as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, was there any particular reason I was dragged in? Or have we covered it?
Well, that's a question to a person who dragged you in, and I have no clue who did that. But anyways, it's great that you appeared here, and it's such a great pleasure to talk with you like live, going while having this race and all those incidents being reviewed right now. So yeah,
of course,
it's great.
Yes.
Okay, by the way, before you go, to everyone who's watching your stream, guys, we have announced 9 hour of Kialami on May 22nd. It's Saturday. So make sure you check us out and you check the event out. Hopefully we see you all coming to the, South African Challenge.
And ahead of that, and in addition to that announcement, in order to balance the pace of Romano Berenic, he has to do the whole 9 hours on his own.
we'll talk about it, yeah, for sure.
You have a lovely evening, guys. Catch you in a bit.
You too. Bye-bye.
Yes, yeah.
Bye-bye.
That was a lovely break. I wasn't expecting that. I still don't know how I ended up in there. That was very strange. But updates on the track. Roshipal has made his pit stop and dropped back into 8th position. So the leader has dropped to the lower half of the top 10, so we can expect him to be having some ridiculous fights, obviously. Minton, meanwhile, now this is a strategy that we have seen the 75 run consistently through this series, and I can't believe that no one else has cottoned onto it. That Aston Martin in clear air is a rocket ship. Even with front end damage, I'm sure that Dan is absolutely relishing the opportunity to run in some clear air. 11 seconds is the gap in front, and Roshipal is 5 seconds behind. So no pressure, just pound out the laps until this might be his last opportunity as he pushes a little bit too hard through turn 4. That's how easy it is to get it wrong here as he understeers again. That's going to be borderline corner cutting. In that case, on the brakes, so it must be some significant damage on the front end of that Aston Martin, wrong British mark. But Dan's making it work as he always does. Lost 2 seconds in the second sector to the leader. I wonder, he's not got enough time to get round for another lap, so this will be his last opportunity. Let's see what the overcut does for the 75 car. He's used it every single race, and it has worked so well for him every time. Into the pit lane, beautiful racing line as well. This is the kind of driving we expect from Dan Minton. Absolutely nailed it. The leader will come through and go to the head of the field, and Hervo Pindrick is in the pits already, serving his. And so, service will be resumed with Berenic just missing out on the lead, but with fresher tyres than the Bentley. Come on, can you please catch up? I do miss Project Cars and their live standing updates. There we go. Rochipal to the lead, but the gap between the 111 and the number 8 has been halved. 24 car has dropped off by a matter of a few seconds, as behind this fight, is that a fight for position as well? Babic on the defensive from Otto Winkler in the 35. It looks like the 35 has had damage repair, but in the dirty air behind that Porsche is not able to. That looks like a repaired Nissan, if you ask me. Datsun, if you ask me. Was in the position to make a pass briefly, but how has everything shuffled out now? Minton's still dropping down the field, having made that pit stop. He's out of it though. Drive through soon for Minton if he goes that way. I'm sure that is purely him trying to turn in and pushing the car way too hard with that front end damage. Stephen Carey now with the number 1 car, hunting down the 25 of Hemming in that AM class. And I tell you what, Stephen Carey has pushed himself very much up the field during this pit window as well. Berenic, oh my goodness. So Berenic, who has been so ridiculously fast through this season, is currently being dropped at the rate of a second a lap by the looks of it, unless that was trouble with traffic for the Porsche driver. But 3 seconds at the moment is the gap between the 111 and the 8. No, that isn't traffic. Those 2 cars were behind them before. But the pit stops, these pit stops have really spread out the field, which is disappointing, of course. 66 car with, who's that behind? They are cars laps down. Smolik and Eugene. Eugene having had a penalty already. Come on, camera. I believe in you. Will be looking to make some progress up the field. That Audi also is not going to be enjoying this dirty air up behind the Aston Martin. Rajipal! Bless up you guys that are in chat just screaming people's names. Let me just very quickly, there we go. Come on, let me, there we go. So Konkoly, here we go. Having said that the pit stops has spread everyone out, I am constantly proven wrong by this ridiculously awesome field. Also on the wrong camera set. So Hemming in the 25 car, I don't think. Note that's the 36 in front, who is getting blue flagged for the Stephen Carey Porsche. But the Porsche hasn't got the speed to be able to get past the Aston Martin, which is the problem with BOP. No, it's not a problem with BOP. It's a characteristic, it's a feature of BOP. But now Stephen Carey is being, as the 36 gets it very wrong through the second chicane and releases the number 1 car. I thought I saw what happened there. Borovec is now dropping back. The gap between the 24 and the 80 car has just gone out by a matter of seconds. Meanwhile, Nida Zak with that 15-second penalty has dropped all the way down to 15th, so another less than sterling performance by Zak on this occasion is going to give him a headache as far as the championship is concerned. I am literally going to just take a sip of water because I've not drunk anything since the race started. At 80 cars out on his own. Well, Konkoly still on the defensive from number 3. Remember, these guys are in different classes, so this is purely for pride. At this point in time. And Konkoly's leading the championship as well. There's no reason he wants to fight with the 3 car here. Oh. 20 minutes remaining in this hour stint at Zolder Circuit in Belgium? I'm pretty sure it's Belgium. I knew earlier on tonight, I promise. Lukasz Rossipal is leading the way in that 111 Bentley, being chased by the Porsche 911 of Romano Berenic. Fillip Borovec has fallen away from the pace of his teammate to act as rear gunner, and D'Couza in the number 80 Jaguar has been let loose from the back of Zak. Thank you very much, Ivan. And here is the pass attempt. No. Porsche's really fast through corners, but the Mercedes has got it in the straights. This is going to be an interesting fight. Again, it's just for pride. This fight between Konkoly and Krisnik in 5th and 6th is what we are watching in the background. Langendijk in the 66 is in 7th. Pindrik in the 2nd of the AM cars is 8th. 9th is Kawasaki in the 806 911. And 10th, your top 10, is Hemming in the Lexus RCF GT3 car in the 3rd place AM car. So AM's featuring really high in this class today. So good showing for the AM class cars to see them so far up. Technically speaking, they should be all the way at the bottom, but it's great to see the drivers outperforming their class and their cars. Was that a wiggle? I saw. Yep, that was. Now, let's take advantage of this to jump to a replay. Oh, come on, load. Apparently, the reason why this may have done this is because of where is the A33 of Beswick? Oh man, that's awful. Let's jump to the helicopter shot. Coming into the final corner, wasn't quite on the outside, got a massive amount of understeer, and with those dirty tyres has tried to get on the throttle way too early, run a little bit wide, and doosh on the inside wall. Come on, fine reverse, fine reverse. Simple mistake, but that's just how easy it is with these simple quote-unquote tracks to be able to make silly mistakes and cost yourself time. Pindrik is catching 2 seconds a lap. Really? That was not the case a minute ago. No, Borovec. Oh, Pindrik. I'm very sorry. Yes, Pindrik with these new tyres on is on a tear. He's gotten past, I'm pretty sure, 2 or 3 cars in that, not including Zak in the 89, who dropped way down, obviously, but he was in front of Konkoly. So there could be a battle coming near the end of this race yet. Yeah, this could be an AM battle for the lead. Yet, I'm very sorry. I clicked on Borovec for no reason whatsoever. 3 seconds. It is 3 seconds now. As 12th and 13th, there's where we want to be. With Andrzej Kusza, who is also streaming this. If you aren't in the ISDA Discord, I highly recommend that you join. They are absolute meme experts as he goes down the inside of the 404. That's never going to be an easy place to pass. They slow each other up, and the 36 behind is not for position, but he could even unlap himself. The Lexus gets past the Porsche in fairly short terminology, that was an excellent pass and great driving from Maru there to know that he wasn't necessarily fighting for position and just let the pass kind of happen. As 1.5 seconds behind this fight is Zach trying to make his way back up the field. Oh, go on. He does like to do things the hard way. Where is the man? He does like to do things the hard way, does Minton. But I promise you that this pass on the 23 car is going to be an excellent one made in very short order. Look how close the splitter gets on the Aston Martin to the floor. That is a car designed for GT3 racing. Krisnik in 6th. Putting pressure on the leading AM car of Konkoly. That 3 car is on an absolute tear in the later stages of this race. I wonder if there's better pressures. Is it going to happen on the inside through here? No. So the Porsche not good enough on the brakes for the moment, it seems. But that pace from the number 3 car has come from fairly nowhere. As Zach has already gotten past the 10 car. Honestly, I thought that pass was more on than it was. As Minton now up on the back of Wazinski in the Ferrari, has a quick look to the inside. Let him know he's there. Put the driver off. And he isn't put off. I've got to admit, that is some fairly stalwart driving by Wazinski to keep the 75 car behind. Oh, as the Ferrari throws it off and caves to the pressure. Simple as that. Minton up a position. Next on his hit list will be Borovec in the 10 car. Is 10 seconds up the road. Let's see how quickly he can make that happen. Maru over the fight over 12th is stacked up behind the Lexus at the moment. But that gold McLaren in the background is hunting. Krisnik 2 is still on the back of Konkoly. There is an argument to not let that fight last too long. I'm very sorry. I had a very long day at work today. It looks like they're clear for now. This is the fight for 5th position overall. And I can't imagine that the 51 needs to defend too much. It's just the Porsche needs to make a decisive move. Follows through the first chicane. The Mercedes goes tighter. Let's jump on board with that Porsche. Just gives me an excuse to go on board with it. Up. There we go. There you go. That looks a bit better, doesn't it? Ooh, bit of hesitancy on the throttle in the dirty air behind the 51 there. On the brakes, 3 cars sitting in the middle of the road. That's not where you want to be to get a good exit. I wonder how balked Krisnik is at the moment. Bentley. Where's the Bentley? Which Bentley am I looking at? Sorry, Ivan. Look at the apex speed that the Porsche can... Oh, no. It can't quite carry. There we go. Commentator's curse strikes again. Meanwhile, Zach trying to put pressure on the 404, goes for a dive up the inside. We've seen this attempted so many times, and it has never worked. Will it work this time? The 89 gives the 404 space on the outside, as he is inclined to do. Side by side, they come across the line. The McLaren falls behind very briefly. Porsche goes defensive. Zach is weaving across the back of the Porsche. Porsche will have to go wide and have a slower exit speed. McLaren goes right back to the outside again. Porsche still on the defensive. Brilliant driving from Maru here. Very level-headed to keep the place ahead of one of the faster drivers in this league. Doesn't defend this time. There's not enough of a braking zone. But if the 89 can get on the inside of the Porsche, he's not going to have an opportunity here, because that Porsche is running all the way down the inside. They're side by side going into the first chicane. McLaren tries to go around the outside. They bump side by side, and somehow both of them keep it together on the track. Brilliant driving from the 404. Great defensive driving from Maru there. Absolute kudos and hat doffed to him, because that was an astonishing attack from Zach, and he weathered most of it. And if it weren't for the contact there and a lot of bravery by the 404 car, by the 89 car, then that Porsche would still be in front. I'm thoroughly convinced of it. 22 is closing in. You are absolutely spot on. I do want to go on. What's the gap now? It's not quite a second. When it gets down to under a second, hopefully the Bentley will start to get the aero wash from the Aston, and we'll be able to start making progress in. Krisnik has dropped back a bit, as Maru has now dropped off the back. How is Minton in the 75? 5 seconds off. He's managed to half the gap to the 10 car in a few laps. I don't know. So it looks, so is that... Yeah, Pindrick, here we go. Let's go, Rochepal. He's driven a stalwart race. He's slowly opening up that lead to Berenic in the 8 car. Wow, this is an interesting fight. Wait for the long shot down the start-finish straight as the Aston Martin runs alongside. You can see the Bentley over the Aston. It's such a big car. How is it so competitive? Through turn 1 they come. Attached by about a 10-foot bungee cord. It's one of those times when you're thankful that we don't have Mario Kart style mechanics in GT3 racing, because that is ripe for a green shell. Grief, that was right out. Oh, it was a Jarbido! A big old touch from the 22 car. Not expecting the 66 to break that early. That was an enormous punt for Pindrick against the 22 car. Brilliant sportsmanship to hold off the throttle and allow the 66 to get going again. But that was a mighty mistake from Pindrick. I think, Ivan, if you say Jarpedo enough, it's going to happen. I also don't know where that came from. Obviously it's Jardier, but which race is that referencing? Is he guilty of a Jarpedo? Now Pindrick needs to gather it all up and do it again. I wonder if that's the first time that they've made contact, or if there's been a couple of times that 66 car in front has caught the Bentley out. Oof. No, he's not going to send it through this one. It's going to be into the next chicane. He's going to try and touch the back of the 66 in every chicane. Go on. Let's make that the truth that we live by. He looks again, thinks about it, but knows better. This time will sit on the back, and here is the the opportunity for the pass. The 66 sits in the middle of the road. My goodness, how on earth did I manage that in English? Gonna have to look up the inside on the brakes. We'll take an enormous cut up the inside. My goodness. And now Kawai Kawasaki, up behind the 22 car, is looking to pressure the 22 and possibly even the 66. There's a lot of pace in that Porsche in this later stage of the race. Under 5 minutes to go. Rochepal leads. Berenic, meanwhile, has dropped the gap from what was 5 or 6 seconds to only 3 seconds. That was very close in the final corner. If Kawasaki had been a little bit more brave, he could have gone around the outside of the Bentley, I dare say. Your fight for 7th, 8th and 9th positions. Burek still on the back of the 404 in the number 10 Ferrari. Minton's dropped back, was as low as 5 seconds, has dropped back into the grasps of Mike Wazinski. It is Mike Wazinski. I keep on wanting to say Mike Wazowski. I think I'm bad for that. I think that makes me a bad person. Berenic is reeling the Bentley in. What is going on here? Is that traffic? Is that what's causing it? The 111 car trying to run through traffic, and suddenly the 8 car is reeling in the 111 Bentley. Across the line, the gap remains fairly stagnant, so perhaps it is through traffic, but Rochepal has had an awful run of traffic at some point in this later stages of this race. Where's the 130? 130 looks as though he is in front of Niders Zach. Niders Zach, he is. What has happened to Zach? Dropped to 18th. I've got to go to replay. I forgot that it does this every time. Meanwhile, race control decision between 89 and 8. Was that in the second stage? The car 35 has received a warning for some reason. The car we're looking for is the 89 of Nida Zach, and it was in the. So he has damage there, and there. So this has happened in a couple of laps ago. Still damage. Oh, what has happened here? Got on the grass on the inside. The tyres are going off, and that was. And you know what that was as well? Let's jump on board with him. Oh. So through the chicane, here, this is what I was talking about. Big unsettlement here, big unsettlement here. You ride the curb on the inside there, another big unsettle. This is basically the first corner that you feel remotely safe, and even then, big old impact on the inside wall. So Nida Zach struggling to keep his car in one piece on this particular track. Really unfortunate for Zach there, as Kawasaki still putting pressure on. Where's Kawasaki? Come on. On the Aston Martin 66 of Lankerdijk. Konkoly, meanwhile, has gone up the road. Pindrick has dropped back. That's the real story. Pindrick in the second place Amcar has had some kind of incident, hopefully not contact with the wall. And now Kawasaki has 7th position, 6th in the Pro Class in his sights. And with 50 seconds to go, where is the leader? In the 111 car. 111? So this will be the final lap. Yeah, Kawasaki passed Pindrick as we saw the replay of Zach. Yep. Big mistake for Zach Do you want me to see? Do you want me to? I won't look up the replay. We're a bit too close to the end of the race now. There we go. 66 gets it all wrong in the chicane, and that gives the 806 the opportunity. But now side by side, the Porsche should have the drive, but the Aston Martin's so quick in a straight line. Just gets it done. And white flag comes out for all of these remaining drivers. I think that maybe just about settled the car in front of the 806. Is not for position. It's always a problem when you see things like that. Down the final straight, Lukasz Rochipal started in the AM class and wiped the floor with them so comprehensively that he had to be promoted to the Pro class. And even now, he's got his hands together on that Bentley and will take the win at Zolder. 3.6 seconds in the end will be the deficit that Berenic could get to, and Borovec, meanwhile, will come home in a very safe third position. Lights flashing. Go on, give us some donuts, Rochipal. Come on, Lukasz. He's trying to get the drift going, but the traction control is just too high. Awesome win for Rochipal, and I'm sure a popular one. The 806 will try and get the pass done, but there is enough traction underneath the Aston Martin to get it done in the final dying moments of the session. The 51 will... the 51's doing donuts for us. Come on. Go on, Barnabas. Get it going. Who else is doing donuts on the... There we go. 806, Kawai Kawasaki. Getting some donuts in there for us. What a spectacle. Synchronized donuts by the Weeb cars. 806 not quite as Weeb. Now it's made the transfer to the Porsche. Excellent. And Otto Winkler on the left-hand side, just off of your screens. Well, there we go. We'll give Otto some time as well. Big donuts on the gravel trap. See, I like this. This is cool. Synchronized donuts. You can't beat this. That's awesome. Thank you very much, ISDA racers. You have been absolutely astounding. And we'll have a look at the timetables here. Again, I still haven't sorted out my screen capping software, so you'll have to forgive me very quickly for this awful noise you're about to hear. There we go. Basically, I can use that. There we go. And no sooner has the race ended, but we can welcome Lukasz Rochipal to the Combox for, I believe, the first time. Is it the first time we've spoken to you on stream? I can't remember.
No, I was here already in Bathurst and Monza.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. No, it's fine. I tell you what, though. This is the first time that we speak to you as a race winner in ISDA. So,
actually, no, I won in Monza.
Did you? Oh, you did as well. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh man, I'm in this race. This race has been so busy. I've just been So, Lukasz, talk us through your race, because I mean, you made it look easy.
Well, actually, yeah, it was. I mean, I don't want to disrespect anyone, but it was pretty easy. The pace just came out of nowhere. I mean, before this whole race, my PB was like 1:28.4, something like that, and I came into qualifying and 1:27.4 or something like that. So immediately I went on the pole position and I was up by 4 tenths, I think. Yeah. And then I was just praying for dry race, because I felt like the setup I did is really fast. And yeah.
Yeah. I'll be fair, you did do all of the hard work in in qualifying, and then the race it all fell apart for most of the people behind you. All of the threats kind of fell away. Borovec was getting in the way of his teammate throughout the early stages of the race, and that gave you that gap that meant that even through traffic, you didn't need to panic too much, and you could allow the gap to close up. And I think that's probably the biggest factor for you was making that gap in the early stages of the race. Also, a very popular win once again for yourself. You've got a lot of support in chat, and even the other drivers are. This is a very popular win for you, by the way. So, extra congratulations from the rest of the ISDA community.
Thank you, everyone.
So, what do you think as far as your chances are concerned? You will definitely be going away with second in the championship after this race. What do you think about the opportunities to fight for the win, or do you think those Porsches are just too far gone now?
I think Berenic is too far gone, but I think this one was like one off for him, because for some reason suddenly I was faster than him, even though the gap was not really getting bigger. That was mainly because I was making a lot of mistakes, but that was because I was trying to find the limits of the track. Yeah. And I could afford making mistakes. But when I was actually doing okay laps with not really pushing too much, I was still 2/10 or 3/10 a lap faster than Berenic. So that was pretty nice. But I think holding on to the P2 in the championship would be good. I never even imagined being in top 5, honestly.
No, you really have found a kindred spirit in that Bentley, it seems. And you, as you say, it all comes together on race day for you, and that's the way you want it to be, really. Because let's face it, you only get points handed out at the end of the race. So,
yeah, but the overtaking is not easy. So the qualifying still has, still is very important, especially on track like this. There isn't really a big straight, and there are no hairpins. There is one hairpin at the end. But that's like the best overtaking opportunity, I think. Yeah. But other than that, it's hard to overtake around here. So it was very important to get good quality. But pole position, that's not what I imagined it would be.
100%. 100%. Well, congratulations. Go and get yourself a drink and celebrate what may well be a very, very exciting close to the first Spring Series Championship for ISDA. Man, it's going to be great seeing you take the fight to the Porsches. Hopefully, you can keep this pace going. And I can't wait for the rest of the season now.
I can't as well. The next 2 races or tracks, I think I'm quite good at. So let's see.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find. I need to go there and there and there because I completely forgot what race is next. We're at Zolder here, and then the next one's Kyalami. Oh, Kyalami, cool. Awesome. And then the finale at Spa. Oh, man. What a close to the season. And you're happy, you're content with those 2 tracks to finish out the season?
Yeah, very much. I think in Kyalami I have good pace, and in Spa I did so many laps on Spa that I don't think I can really screw up by my own, honestly. So I'm feeling very confident.
So should I invite you into the combox during qualifying to give us the track guide, because I've done a track guide of Spa so many times. I know it off by heart now.
I'm not sure about if I can do that, but
all right. You drive it and I'll talk it. How about that?
Yeah, that would be okay.
Awesome. I look forward to seeing the Bentley at the top of the timesheets next time out at Kyalami, mate. You have a lovely evening, and congratulations once again.
You too, and thank you very much.
Absolutely no problem, mate. See ya.
See ya.
And the other man waiting for an interview tonight is Andrei Kushar, who has had an interesting race, let's say. Let's talk about it from your point of view, Andrei.
Hello, hello. Thank you for inviting me here. It was really interesting. I was confident on this track. I thought I will do better in qualification and so on. But then I was during the race. I was kind of struggling in. I was struggling with partly with my internet connection with the ping, and then with the tires because I could feel that they are going, and I was sliding a lot in a lot of corners. I had a couple of tracks, but nothing too serious. I would say it's not certainly the the same levels as on Mount Panorama.
No,
So
no.
no like hard crash into a wall and so on. So that was good for me.
Yes, 100%. The thing is you say there's no walls. There's plenty of walls around here for you to crash into, and the track itself is smooth. Like it's a Formula One grade kind of asphalt they seem to have here. It's beautiful to drive on in a straight line, but there's just these little imperfections, and it's always in braking zones or when you get to a corner. Isn't it?
It mostly in here. It's mostly the curbs that throw the car off balance and so on, and that's where usually the spins happen. But going off track or going wide is also easy here. Just a little bit too late on the brakes or a little bit too much speed and just going off.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's all within. It's all like the tiniest. That's it. The tiniest errors are making all the difference here. Like we saw Nida Zak in the 89. After the second chicane, you've got that tighter right-hander, and then you actually get on the throttle, don't you?
Yeah.
For that straight towards the hairpin, and it was that second right-hander. He just went a little bit too tight, caught a little bit of on the sausage curbs on the inside, and that nosed him into the wall on the inside. So it's little tiny little mistakes that are being made as Assetto Corsa crashes on me. Great. So but the Lexus was stable at least.
Yes, it was really good because as I said, I was sliding a lot.
Yeah.
But in other cars, once it would start to slide, I wouldn't be able to catch it. But the Lexus is really good. It's just really allows me to catch the slide and just drift through the corner, basically.
You're overdriving the cars, mate. That's what's happening. That's absolutely fine. It's a problem we share. Don't you worry. But yes, no. It's still you came home 10th overall, if I remember correctly.
Yes, I was surprised because I didn't notice. Like I noticed one car that went that got into problems. It was the other Lexus, and he got probably damaged, so he got out of the way then in the final, actually in the final two straights. But I didn't see the other car, so I thought I will be like P11, that I will not make it to top 10 this time.
And the thing is, as well, in the pro class, that you're as high as 7th, I think. If I'm doing the maths right, take away the 3 cars, you're up behind Kawasaki. So that'd be 7th position in the pro class.
That's nice.
So,
probably the best I got so far. Maybe I'm not sure even.
Absolutely stand-up performance by yourself, and nothing to be ashamed of whatsoever.
Thank you. I'm a bit disappointed. I wanted to do better on this track because it's one of my favorites. And I thought I was quick, and in some trainings I was even able to do high 27s on the optimal track.
Yeah. But
I wasn't able today. Don't know why. And
I don't think the track ever got to optimal. I think it kind of skipped optimal, went from green to what's the one past that? It's like dirty or something.
Oh.
It wasn't a quick track today, by any stretch of the imagination. So no, you did good, honestly, man. You're like 7th overall, 7th in pro class, 10th overall, in a field as competitive as this, you had some big names behind you. Minton, Zach, you had Wazinski behind you, like who he's in an AM car, but he's a very quick driver on his day.
Yeah.
You did really well today, man. Like,
Thank you.
Don't take anything away. Also, I'll have to catch up on your stream after once I'm done here. But
It was a bit boring this time because I didn't talk that much.
aw, that's
Yeah.
all right.
Bit boring, but you can check it anyway.
Yeah. No. Anyway, well done on your finish. 7th place in the pro class, 10th place overall. Andrei Kushar, thank you for coming and saying hi to us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
No problem, man. Have a good one.
See ya.
And with Assetto Corsa doing its usual trick of crashing, there is only one thing left for me to say, and that is thank you very much for watching. If you're enjoying what we're doing here at ISDA, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. There is plenty more coverage and plenty more competition coming from the International Sim Drivers Association. And if I'm very, very fortunate, I'll be able to be here to cover it for you. My name is Berenic Sky. If you want to see more from me, there is a link in the video description. But all that it leaves me to do is to say good afternoon or good night, wherever you are in the world. And I will see you next time for round 6 of the championship from South Africa and Kailami. A very, very good night to you all.